by Coach Keith Sholders, Jay Aiello, 195-pound state champion from Westfield High School. What's going on, guys?
How you doing?
Good, good. Well, Coach, I'm going to start with you. Let's talk a little bit. Tell me a little bit about the Northern Region this year in wrestling, and where do you think the Northern Region stands this year?
The Northern Region, I tell you, it used to be the Eastern Region that's dominated, in the years past, but the Northern Region and the Northwest have really, taken over, and predominantly the Northern Region, and the wrestling has definitely escalated, and we've produced, several, talented wrestlers like the guy next to me.
That's right.
But it's definitely on the incline, and we want to keep it stable, and it will. And we have very good coaches in the Northern Region that are working extremely hard to accomplish our task. And we talk about it a lot at our coaches meeting, and we want to stay up top.
All right. Great. Well, let's get into the Westfield program. It's your first year as head coach at Westfield. Tell me a little bit about the program and where the direction you want to go with it.
Well, we had a very young team this year. We started 8 sophomores, second-year wrestlers. We only had 3 seniors, Jay being one of them. And so we had a year. We had a tough schedule, and it was a lot of hard work. And kids persevering through tough losses, and at times it was a lot of motivation and keeping their heads up and working hard and thinking about their future. Like I told you, we're very young, so.
Great. Well, it's got to help having a guy like this.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
They talk about a leader.
All right,
He's it.
Well, tell me a little bit about that. How does he lead the team? Is he more of a vocal guy? Is he more of a I'll watch the way I am on the mat?
Jay's both. I tell you, we're very fortunate, and we joke around and we talk about it. We have a football Jay and we have a wrestling Jay, and they work together to produce the state champion Jay and the defensive player of the year. But he's the type of guy I can go down the hallway and do something. Not that I would. And he could run a practice, and he leads the kids through the exercises. We have the Jay Aiello drills that we do, a little stance and motion drills. Does a very good job with that. And like we talked about, number one is he's a leader. Number two, if you talk about him, Jay, just the work ethic, and having a guy like Jay, just others seeing the way he works and what he's accomplished, it's just a huge asset to have in the room.
I bet. Well, Jay, you had less than a week to get ready for your first tournament this year.
Yeah.
How did you transition so quickly from football into wrestling?
Well, at the end of football, I had been eating healthy. I've been running like 2-3 times a week, trying to stay in shape. I mean, still, I wasn't in wrestling shape yet, obviously, but I guess I was watching my weight a little bit. Didn't want to get too heavy. But I mean, at the end of the year in football, I was playing both ways, so I was already going through some pretty difficult tasks then. Yeah. So I guess that kind of helped a lot too.
All right. Now, is your playing weight that much different from your wrestling weight?
A little bit. In the beginning of the season, I'll probably be a little bit heavier, but I'll work my way down slowly, trying to lose fat, not trying to lose muscle. I don't want to be losing that much weight during football. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, great. Well, who is the toughest opponent you faced this year?
I guess two kids stand out in particular. The #1 ranked kid at 82 and 95 in the country.
Okay.
So I wrestled the #1 ranked kid at 95 at Beast my first week back, and I wrestled him 5'2", I think, and he ended up being ranked #1 in the country at the end of the year. And then at Eastern States, I wrestled Nick Reenan, who is ranked #1 at 182, and lost 5-1 to him. So, I mean, really good wrestlers.
Okay. Well, you were 40-4 this year?
39-4.
39-4?
About
30 pins?
Yeah.
What happened the other 9 times?
I mean, I guess that's part of the reason I'm going to tough tournaments like the Beast of the East, Eastern States. I mean, I'm looking for those tough matches. I mean, this past weekend, senior nationals, I'm going out there trying to find tough matches because pinning kids left and right is not going to get you better.
Right.
Wrestling easy schedule is not going to get you better.
There you go. Well, you got on a roll during the conference championship and the regional tournament. pinned everybody. Did you think that the state tournament was gonna be the same way, or did you expect it be a little bit tougher?
Well, that was kind of my goal, to pin the way through it.
Okay.
I talked to my brothers about it, talked to my coaches about it. I mean, I wanted just to be as dominant as I could all the way through, like not leave a doubt that I was the best wrestler in Virginia. So
I like that. I like that. Well, how much did you really have to coach this guy this year?
I tell you, the great thing about Jay is he listens.
Yeah.
Kids his caliber, it can happen to where they tune you out. They think they have a very good idea what they're doing, and they don't want to listen. Jay has absorbed everything. 4 days after he was finishing the state championship in football, he goes out and competes with some of the best kids in the country. At the time, wrestling #1 guy in the country, and he goes out and he's wrestling, and he tries a maneuver on top, a crosswise tilt, and I asked him after if that was something he's been doing for a long time. He goes, no, you were teaching in practice, so I tried it. And that's not just that. I mean, it's anyone. We have a whole staff to where Jay will just open up and listen for whatever insight you could give him, and would never shut you down. And that's the best part about him, is he'll just absorb and whatever he can and take it forward.
All right. Well, what is it like, the difference for you between football and wrestling? What are the differences that you like, team sport versus individual sport?
I mean, I like football and wrestling both a lot, obviously, but I mean, wrestling, it's all you out there. Like, the time you put in is the time you're going to get out. I mean, football, you could do all you can, you still might come up short of your goals. I mean, obviously we didn't this year because we had a group of guys all working together, working hard. But I guess that's like the difference in it. And then football is like, you go hard for 6 seconds, like 10 seconds, then you get a little break, and then you go hard again, you get a little break. But wrestling is just 6 minutes straight. So
I've often said it's the toughest 6 minutes.
it's definitely the longest 6 minutes. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you, what's the pressure like of being a coach at Westfield? I mean, you guys are collecting titles all the time. What's it like being a coach at Westfield?
Yeah, there's high expectation. There's no doubt about it, and that was part of. I was 14 years at Annandale High School, and wanted to meet a new challenge. And that's part of it. If you don't want to, sort of like what Jay's talking about, it's a tougher competition, and if you don't want that, then you're become complacent and happy where you are, sure. But meeting new challenges is always a great thing.
Well, as a first-year coach, did you know what to expect from Jay this year when he came in? Did you expect this kind of season, or was it a kind of a shock to you when mid-season rolls around?
I've known Jay for a long time through the youth leagues, and watched him from afar, and observed him on the football field, and watched him. And I had my first glimpse of him on the football field, and saw what he could do and that type of competitor that he is, and. From there, coming into the wrestling room and working out a little bit with him in the wrestling room, you knew it right away to what he could accomplish. Definitely on a state level, getting to the national level, that just comes with the hard work, the work ethic. Coming into the room at all times, whatever he could to get a workout in, the weight room. You talk about that. What type of kid is he? And he's a type of kid that's a true competitor, and will do what it takes to achieve the goals that he wants.
One of those goals, you're headed to UVA next year on the wrestling team. What are your goals for next year?
I guess overall goal in college is to win a national title, but you got to have small goals before you can really get to the big goals. So obviously it'd be just do anything I can for the team at first. I mean, if they want me to start, I'll start. If they want me to redshirt, I'll redshirt. If I need to be a backup at first, I'll be a backup at first. I mean, just doing what the team needs me to do.
Excellent. Excellent. So I talked to Tyler Scanlon last week, and I asked him, is there going to be a statue of him in front of the school? Who should really have the statue, you or Scanlon, in front of the school?
Maybe we could do like a joint statue sort of thing. I don't know.
Don't be diplomatic about it. Tell me the truth.
I mean, obviously, a me statue would probably look a little bit better. I mean, I went to Westfield all 4 years while he was over at PBI for a little bit, so...
Love the school trash talking. That's awesome.
He wrestled for it.
Yeah. Let me ask you guys both. Actually, speaking of that, the explosion of MMA has brought a little more attention to wrestling. Do you notice that as you move along? Is that something that's going on, or is it kind of taken away from the participation in wrestling?
Not at all. I think it's increased the participation in wrestling. You look at your top tier MMA, UFC caliber wrestlers. You're looking at wrestlers, mainly, and the grappling on the mat has gone a long way. And it's sort of overtook. You have your Olympic goals, which you like to do, but if you can't do that, if you're not on that level or you don't have that goal in mind, definitely the MMA way is a lot of the post-high school, way to go.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts about MMA in your future?
Not as of now, I guess, but I mean, maybe if the opportunity presents itself, I guess. But
is it something that you enjoy watching, or?
Yeah, I enjoy watching UFC. Yeah, it's fun to watch.
All right. Well, terrific. Well, thank you guys very much. Can't wait to see what you do at UVA next year. Coach, look forward to seeing you again next year.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining the Prep Zone. I'm Rob Giampapa. We'll see you next time.